What happens when you take one of Australia's most popular models and make it more fuel efficient? You get this, the new Toyota Corolla Hybrid, which is priced from just $26,990 plus on-road costs. Sounds like a bargain, right? The Corolla Hybrid's aggressive pricing puts it well and truly in the consideration zone for most small hatchback buyers, and it even slots in nicely in the Corolla range, below the flagship ZR by a handy $2,000 margin. It's not like the Corolla Hybrid is a base model though, it comes packed with some pretty impressive equipment. Standard kit includes ZR donated features like dual zone climate control, auto leveling by LED headlights, LED daytime lights, and keyless ignition and entry. Unlike the ZR with its blingy 17-inch wheels, the Corolla Hybrid gets 16-inch alloys. It also has goodies such as satellite navigation with sooner live traffic updates, along with Toyota Link connectivity and a 4.2-inch multi-information display. Safety is well accounted for as well, with 7 airbags, a rear-view camera, and stability control. Some hybrid models have boots that are impacted by batteries and the like, but the Corolla Hybrid stores its nickel metal hydride pack under the rear seats. That means you've still got the same amount of space back here as you do in a regular Corolla, 360 litres, which is fine for the class, but not excellent. The space back here is adequate for 2 adults, but some taller occupants might find it a little bit cramped for size. Knee space isn't excellent, and head space could be better as well, although there are dual ISOFIX child seat anchor points for the little ones. Up front, the Corolla Hybrid is pretty much like any other Corolla on the market, although it does have this large slab-like center console which eats into space a little bit, and you miss out on a little storage cubby that the regular Corolla has. You also get this slinky little gear selector, which is like the one you see in the Prius, although it doesn't light up at night, so it can be a bit of a trouble to find. Storage on the whole could be better, but the usability of the space is pretty good. And while you do miss out on leather, this cloth trim is actually reasonably smart. Now, better find out what it's like to drive. The regular Corolla isn't the thirstiest small car out there, with fuel use of between 6 and 7 litres per 100 Ks. But this petrol-electric Corolla betters that by using just 4.1 litres per 100 kilometres. That's a bit more than the Prius model that came out earlier this year. But still, at 4.1 litres per 100, or about 4.8 as we've seen on test, the Corolla Hybrid is one of the most real-world efficient cars you can get for the money. Toyota claims that the Corolla Hybrid's total tank range is 1,100 kilometres, even though the fuel tank is 5 litres smaller, just 45 litres. And it may offer even better range around town when the batteries and electric motor come into play more often. That's an interesting point in itself. The company is pitching this as something of an alternative to a diesel small car. There aren't many of those around anymore, and there are even fewer small hybrid cars. But you can't argue with the fact that it is efficient. It does need premium fuel though. So what makes it so efficient? There's a 1.8 litre petrol engine teamed to an electric motor, and they send power to the front wheels through a CVT automatic. Total power output is 100 kilowatts, which isn't huge by class standards, but it's the low-end torque that hybrids are known for. That's that push that gets you off the line. That's sort of the case with the Corolla Hybrid, but in stop-start traffic, the throttle response can be a little bit painful. It's a bit dull. But once you're up at speed, the response is pretty good. There are 3 drive modes to choose: power, economy, and EV. The latter mode will offer you between 1 and 2 kilometres of electric driving. That's not a huge amount when you consider the likes of plug-in hybrid models that are out today. But unlike those models, this car doesn't need recharging. It's more like set and forget motoring, and that has some level of appeal. The brakes of the Corolla Hybrid are a little bit less user-friendly than the regular Corolla. They do tend to be a little bit grabby, but the stopping response is pretty good. It drives as well, if not better than the regular Corolla though, because it's got double rear wishbone suspension. That means it seemingly has better bump absorption than the regular car, which is on a torsion beam rear end. It corners reasonably well too. You can barely notice the extra 95 kilos that the hybrid bits add to the curb weight. And apart from the steering being a little bit heavy when you're trying to park, it's pretty inoffensive from the driver's seat. Inoffensive? Yeah, that's one word we'd use to describe the Toyota Corolla Hybrid. Other words we'd use include decent, efficient, and yes, to bring it back to the point that we made at the start of this review, it is a bit of a bargain.